Welcome to Linux Overdose, episode 23, and today is June the 28th, 2016, and you notice I boot up in Debian 8.4, I believe, and it's Jesse, which is the stable version. So I'm back here, and I just finished updating everything. And now I got the Firefox logo instead of the ice weasel. I guess they're starting to call this Firefox ESR. So when I first opened it up and went to a few pages, it crashed. It did 3 times, so I went ahead and opened it up in a terminal to when it crashes, it'll give me some messages and know what's going on. Well, it never crashed. So I went ahead and took it out of close that and reopen Firefox, and now it just works. But when I closed Firefox in the terminal, it says something about bad certificate. So that might have been my problem. But right now it works. It's working just fine now. So not going to worry about it. It looks like it. I haven't been reading about what changes and why we got the Firefox ESR and what it is. I haven't read much about it yet. So that's changed on my system here, and just letting you know that my computer is using only one monitor, which is like a TV set. It's in my living room, 32 inches, I believe it is. And I'm using an NVIDIA video card, the 750 Ti, and I'm using the 4th generation of the Intel i5. Just letting you know what kind of hardware I use, which all that information is on the very first video, which is Linux PC, which is, I've been calling that episode 0. So if you ever want to check out what hardware I use, go to Linux PC episode 0. And I just letting you know what it is, because you've probably been following me and notice I haven't had any problems at all. And whatever problems I have, it's minor and it fixes itself, or I fix it myself. So just letting you know all that. And this episode is going to be about beginning into Zorin, and I went ahead and downloaded it to cut the video a little shorter. So, but I will show you where to go and what why I did download, which was Zorin 9.1 actually, long-term support. And that was, I had 2 choices. I had a Zorin 11, but it's only supported, actually the support, I believe, ended already. So right now I guess I'll go ahead and show you where I download. Like I said, I always go to distrowatch.com. Right here's the top 100, and the top 20, 25, anything you download in there will be pretty good, be well supported, strong communities, because Mint is strong, Debian is strong, Ubuntu is strong, OpenSUSE, and all these are pretty strong distros. I didn't like this Android x86, which I didn't install at all, show you guys at all. It just, to me, it's not very good Linux distro, and why it's in here I have no clue. But all these other ones are well supported. Even Slackware, which is pretty much almost the first distro. I think there was like 2 before this, but this is the first I think commercial success Linux OS, and it's still around today. Light has been improving a lot. I liked it the first time I installed it, and I've been reading about Light, and if you like an XFCE desktop environment, I would recommend Lite to even a beginner. And then all these other ones are well supported too. Tails is mainly for just running through a CD or a USB. I wouldn't install it as a regular Linux OS, but it's nice to have to erase your history and stuff, surfing and not being spy on all that stuff. So Tails does have a place in the Linux world. All right. Well, we're gonna go Zorin. So I'll click on Zorin, and it's based on Debian Ubuntu. And they got the 32-bit, 64-bit, and 32-bit's going to be dying here soon. A lot of people are going to be stop supporting it. And then we got GNOME and LXDE, which is, I guess, their main desktops. I thought it was a KDE, but I guess not. I guess it used to be, and it's just not now. And how you find that out is go down here to their other versions and see what their default graphic, their DE that they use. Let's see, does it say? Usually it tells you what. It's a graphical interface to down. Oh yeah, right here it is. GNOME. Now they renamed it to Zorin. So I guess GNOME was their default desktop. Now they just renamed it Zorin. So they must have. It's still GNOME, but they just changed it. Probably mix it up with this LXDE or something. I don't know. So we'll find out. It does look real nice. And here's the website, Zorin-os.com. And then you can see it does look real nice. So I do like the looks of Zorin. Now I have installed this one time just to check it out, early stages, and I didn't think it was stable enough. At least what I messed with wasn't stable, but I know it's stable now and everything, so it's been around for a while. Okay, security updates for Zorin OS 11, July 2016, and that's going to expire soon. So of course I didn't download this. I did a 9 long-term support all the way to April 2016. So I clicked on this. And here's some paid versions, the business, the ultimate. Here's the 64-bit, 32-bit. And they also got a, this is 32 and 34, which is the core, and this is the Lite. I went ahead and downloaded the core. And this is educational, 64, 32, and this is educational Lite, just the 32. Just letting you know that I did download this one right here, the Core 64 9, which is actually 9.01. And then then it forwards you to SourceForge, and right there 9.1. And then I just click on here and save file, and that's how I got it. So close all this, and then downloads, and right here it is. So I got it download. Let's see, how big is it? It didn't take too long to download. It is 1.5 gigabytes, so you definitely need a DVD, of course. Most of these distros, you do need DVDs anymore. CDs ain't gonna do it. That's why everyone's been doing the USB, but I'm still old school. I do DVDs all the time, but we're doing this through VirtualBox, so I can just boot off the ISO. So let's go ahead and fire up VirtualBox. Let's see. Okay, ignore. I deleted this ISO, just informing me that it's not link anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Don't need it no more. Remove all files, so it's gone. Now we'll do the Zorin. And it says Arca, which I don't know which one to go. Probably other, or well, it's based on Debian and stuff, so I'll probably do this one here. But I don't think this matters as a version choice, so I'm going to give it 4. That's why I've been given all of these. I got 16, the real hardware, and I guess this green is safe to use, and 4 gigabytes is plenty. And then default, and I've been given around 20. Just give it some breathing room. And then that's correct. The machine part is created. You still gotta go under settings and make some changes. I ain't gonna do the floppy. I haven't been doing this lately, so definitely need the DVD to boot off of. So, which is here. Audio and network, which I'm wired. I'm always wired. This is a desktop. But if this was a laptop, I'd still be wired. It's just a lot easier. And then get your wireless fix afterwards. So always do the wire. Alright, that's ready to be boot up. So we'll go ahead and start it right up. Let's see, view. Let's see if we can go full screen. Yeah. And a Zorin OS 9. Actually 9.1. And it's a boot, live. I'm sure it has a live version. And then we can go ahead and try it, or go ahead and install it. I'm not going to try it. I'm just going to go ahead and install it. Alright, now it's just saying that I do have enough hard space. You need at least 2.9 gigabytes to install this. And I also have a internet connection. And I'm going to go ahead and say go ahead and download updates while installing, which will take longer, but at least when it boots up, I got pretty much updated. So continue. And of course, I just created this virtual machine. I'm going to use the whole hard drive. So erase this and install Zorin, which I want. I never encrypt, and I never did this LVM. So, and I never go to something else because always do the whole hard drive, or I never install. All my OSs are on separate hard drives. Of course, that can get expensive, but I got plenty of. I've been in the PC business for a while, so I accumulate a lot of discs, especially used old ones that are still good. And I got these external hard drives in cases where I have access to many hard drives, and hard drives are cheaper right now. I finally start using SSD, solid state drives, but I still got my old the turn up ones, but this is on a solid state drive. Alright, I'm going to hit install. And then it already picked up where I'm at. Continue. continue, and my username and my password. Remember, never forget your password. You should always have a strong password. In VirtualBox, I just got a short one, and red means it's too short. It's not a secure password. So, and I always like the auto login, so I always check that. And I don't want to encrypt nothing. Anytime I have this option, I always do this. It's me, the house. Don't need no security or anything. And I can tell you the password here because I never use it anywhere other than a virtual machine, and I use green as my password, all small letters. So continue, but you want to use a strong one. You want at least one capital letter, a number, or a character in your password. And usually no common words. Don't use your social security number, your address, your parents' maiden name, your pets, or anything. Use something that's be hard to figure out what your password is. But just remember what it is. Never forget your password. It looks like I got background music while it's installing. Now that's a first. Turn the volume down. I don't think it turns my mic down. So it's installing. It's telling you that it has other languages to install. It's copying files right now. And I don't think I got to skip now. Well, that was short. Alright, now it's just installing, so I just wait. It's copying everything onto the hard drive, the virtual drive. But Zorin, yes, I would say what I heard and what I read, it'd be good to install as for a beginner. So I'm an advanced user, but I use many Linux distros, the simplest ones, the hardest ones. And some I like, some I don't, some I'm better at, and some, I'm so at. So, some stuff I'm not super interested in. They might be good Linux distros. I'm just not, into that or ain't interested in learning new things. Now Arch, I'm just getting into that. You see me install it, and I install it just fine. And I can get along with Arch if I wanted to, but I'm still not Arch fan. I'm more of Debian base, which this is Debian right now, what I'm using. But I like Netrunner, the Debian version. I like Light. I'm into Voyager now. That's my main Linux distro. So Voyager and Debian looks like it's okay, but Debian I wouldn't recommend for a beginner really. There's things you really have to know and get things going. So even though Debian is, all these Debian based ones, they just got more set up for beginners. Debian itself is not for a beginner unless you just know Debian very well. But Ubuntu, Mint are the most popular ones to use. I'm still not a Unity fan. KDE is, I still say that's my favorite one. but I'm starting to like XFCE, so I guess that's my second one. And I do like Cinnamon on a Linux Mint, but I haven't had Linux Mint for a while. So, but if I ever did Linux Mint as a primary, it would be. I'm going to restart now. It would be the Cinnamon version. And these are just my likes, my preferences. You got all these choices, and everyone has their own like, their own style. But some beginners just they're too picky. They know exactly what they want, and every distro they try, it's not for them. It's not set up the way they want. Well, you ain't gonna find a Linux distro that fits you like a boot. There's some tinkering, some changes you gotta make to fit your needs. Voyager, it took me a while to get. I like the setup, and I left the setup the way it was. There's a few things I uninstalled, which I think was only 2 things. Most of it was some security encrypt stuff that it got in the way, so I deleted it. And their scripts were real nice. I had to tweak them because the fonts were too small. They was using a profile that they set up that I didn't like, so I actually delete the profile and use my own, and to get the fonts big and the right size. So now I don't know why it's taken too long to boot up here. It says it's deactivating swap. Remove installation disk and close. Oh, it's asking me to remove the installation disk. Oh, okay. Let me see. Whoops, cancel. See, I had to remove a. Let's see, choose. All right, we'll just go ahead and stop this. We'll let's see, can I press enter? All right, let me press enter. It just let me to remove, gave me a chance to remove the disk, which I didn't remove. But it looks like it's booting fine. So right here it is. So, and we got wine installed. Here's your accessories. Let's see how you get back to. I don't see no back key. I'm just pressing keys just to figure out what's the best way to open this stuff. Let's see, we got games, very simple games, and I don't know how to go back. Yeah, when I go here and click on something, let's say go system tools, this. Now how do you go back? Just close this. Alright, and we got updates now. It's asking for updates. Just go ahead and install now. And then it's asking password. But that's installed, and of course I don't got the screen big. I gotta do the that guest edition or whatever to get the screen big. So I guess I'll go ahead and end this. We got it installed, and I'll get the screen big again, which is the guess. But just remember, if you're gonna install it on hard drive, on your hard drive, go to your BIOS, which mine is the delete key. So you turn your computer on, hit delete, and all I had to do is change the boot sequence. Mine was DVD. If you're gonna do USB, then USB port. But I didn't have to change nothing else because I already had the security boot, fast boot. All that was all disabled in a way, so I didn't have to change anything. It just worked. But you want to go through all that and see what works and what don't. You might have to do some changes in BIOS. Boot up off DVD or USB. Click what you'll see me how to install. And of course, when you restart it, it's asking you to remove the USB or the DVD. Of course, I didn't do that. I just press enter and it continue. But remember, when you reboot, make sure you remove it before you boot, or just boot back up in the live version. So, all right, I'll go ahead and get this application back up to close this, and I'll just go ahead and end this episode. That's to install it. We'll take a better look at it after I get the guest edition, the virtual guest edition or whatever installed, whatever I need to make it the screen big. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.